Okay, how many beauty advisors do we have in the house? That was not very exciting. Oh my goodness. How many Motives beauty, how many Motives Cosmetics, the hottest growing cosmetic line in the beauty industry, think about that? I tell you what, I absolutely love Motives Cosmetics. And it's funny when, going back where we were several years ago, I was introduced to the company through the health and nutrition products. Radically changed my health, restored my health so I could have a similar experience with you. But honestly, didn't look at the cosmetic line. Brady and I, neither of us did, for probably the first 8 months. But we saw a need in the area. We began to grow. Remember, we were just a few of us at the very beginning, and saw such a huge asset that we were leaving on the table with Motives. And we thought to ourselves, you know what, if we don't take a hold of this and really embrace Motives and learn, then how can we expect anyone else to? And so, a leader can't go where a leader hasn't been, right? And so we just started with Motives, trying to figure it out on ourselves, began to, have beauty events. When we first started, the Beauty Basics event was such an incredible tool that Jackie Blasco put together years ago to give us tools to follow a system. And it's very fun because with Motives, we have several different systems that you can incorporate. Whether you're having a small VIP Motives event, like the It's Your Time to Shine, to the Motives Beauty Basics, where you're going to have more guests coming, or even a Motives trunk show at a salon. There's so many different tools and methods you can follow. So today we're going to kind of go over a little bit about how to have a beauty basics. How many of you in the room have had one before? Quite a few. Okay, awesome. So first it starts with, of course, planning it, right? Identifying the date, planning it, and Jackie put together a great collection of all the tools that you need on GoNowResources.com. And if you go there, I know many of you probably already printed out your sheets. We're going to go through this today. Perfect. Kind of go over the steps of it, but it's on GoNowResources.com under Retailing Beauty Basics. Actually, Lisa Koska has an audio there that you can watch as well, and then all the documents are developed. So, having your Beauty Basics event, basically, we're going to feature the top 10 Motives products. You're going to learn, as you do this, you don't have to have any kind of background in beauty. You don't have to have a lot of background about the products. But what you're going to find is, as you begin to do these events, you're really going to learn about these top 10 and why they're so beneficial, and you're going to see the embracing of the customers that come, and they're going to fall in love with these. And it's going to, as you continue to do this, it's just going to equip you for success. So don't feel like you have to know everything about the product, that you have to be a beauty professional. No, this is built for the average, everyday woman. And so you can take a simple system like this and follow it. You're going to be successful with Motives. Because honestly, that's what Brady and I did. And through that duplication process, it has grown and increased. And so starting out, the top 10, this is one of the invites that you can use. Again, she created everything that you need possibly. The Beauty Basics invitation. So there's a couple ways to do this. I'm very personable, and I think most people are. Would y'all agree? Yeah. This is great to use. You can fill it out, but use this as something that they can either see in their hand or maybe fill it out, send a picture after you ask them and invite them. Calling and inviting, I think, is really key. And actually, I'm going to go ahead on this, on the very last page of how to have the event is the script. And so I'm going to kind of go over these scripts because it's going to be hard to see on here. But how would you invite somebody? Because a lot of people say, okay, hey, I'm going to have an event, now what do I do? And they're uncomfortable with just making that phone call. And so here's a few different approaches that I'm going to go over. And, as you do it, it's funny because on the other end of the line, even though you may feel hesitant or scared, the person on the other end of the line isn't listening. They're not paying attention to that. If you just be welcoming and friendly, they're gonna, Brandy always talks about warmth and confidence. So make sure a great way to prepare on how to call and invite someone, look at yourself in the mirror. Yeah. Practice your script beforehand. And do it a few times, that way it flows. But if you look at yourself in the mirror and you're smiling while you're doing it, for me, I remember we were actually doing a call the other day, and Nick was like, do you remember how we used to get so nervous just doing the phone calls? Like, if we were featured on a conference call, I'd be like, walking around, and I had to walk around and talk, and I'm like, and my nerves would be all going all crazy. So, but if I sat down, I could tell it in my voice. So I would always pace the room, and I'd be like, don't look at me, Nick, and I'd be like walking around talking, and it really helped me. So I encourage you, stand up, look at yourself in the mirror, pace around, talk, move with your hands, because it comes out in your conversation when you talk to somebody. So, invitation scripts. Okay, here's one. Let's see, who wants to help me with this? Do we have any volunteers? Alicia. Perfect. So I'm going to call and ask you the first one, then you're going to do the second one. Okay. So I'm calling you. Hey, Alicia. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Having a great day. Hey, do you have just a second?
Just a few minutes.
Okay, perfect. Hey, I wanted to see, are you doing anything next Tuesday evening?
Let's see, next Tuesday. About what time?
6:30.
Nope.
Okay, well, I came across this incredible cosmetic line that I'm actually hosting a beauty basics event at my house. I would love for you to come and be one of my models.
I don't know. I've never modeled before.
Well, that's good. I love your introductions. You don't have to be a professional model. Actually, we're just going to have some girlfriend time, come play in some of the products. We're going to have lots of fun. I would love to see you and have you come. Does that sound interesting to you?
Sure, it sounds great.
Okay, so could I count on you to come? So I even forgot my date.
Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, 6:30?
Yes, I'll be there.
Okay, awesome. And actually, thank you for being a woman of your word, and I actually have a free gift for you from when you get there.
Oh, great. I like free.
Awesome. Well, can't wait to see you.
See you soon.
Thank you. So simple. Very, very simple. Here's right, Alicia. You're not done. Let's see.
We are really impressed. I want you to come over and check it out. It's only about an hour or so, and it would really mean a lot to me. We should have some fun. We never have enough fun, do we?
No.
So will you come over at Tuesday at 6:30?
Oh, did you say will I? Oh, yes. I thought you said when. I thought you were going to continue. Yeah, absolutely. I will be there. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Great. I'll be emailing you an invitation, and then I will call you the day before or the day of the event to remind you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you. Again, very simple. You can take these invitations and the scripts actually and just make it yours. You definitely want it to be your personality. Keep it very simple and short. A great way, Randy always talks about, hey, can I borrow your skin? That's a great, it's an off-the-cuff approach, and most people are like, oh, absolutely. A lot of times when I tell people, because would y'all agree, Motives is always having a really great challenge put together, right, where we can submit pictures, and so our last campaign, what I did is I called people and said, hey, our company, Motives Cosmetics, is running a nationwide campaign, and we are looking for models to submit to the company. I would love for you to come be one of my models for a free makeover, and I have a free gift for you for coming. And every single person was like, absolutely, I want to do that. So again, make it your own on the invitation part, but we're going over that because it's very important. You can plan your event, you can invest in the product, you can do all of that, but if you don't get anybody there, then you just wasted your time, right? And so the invitation part is very important, and then following up on that is really important as well. So you, right before the event, a day before, I would call Alicia again, remind her, hey, I can't wait to see you tomorrow, I'm super excited, and so confirming to her. And a lot of times if you're brand new and you're working with a senior partner, sometimes it's best to sit down with your senior partner and have them help you do the follow-up calls. Because a lot of times if they confirm to somebody else, and say Brandy calls Alicia and says, hey, I'm so excited. Quimby told me that you're coming tomorrow night. I will be there and I cannot wait to meet you. And if she confirms to Brandy again, more than likely that's going to increase their chances of coming because she just confirmed to somebody that she's never met. And so keep that in mind as well. going over the event, the pre-event. And I actually printed it out, that way I don't have to turn around and I can face you guys and we can kind of go over the bullet points. Does everyone have their pre-event paper to follow along? Okay. So, working with your host to decide the date, which we talked about, you're going to want to invite 30 or more people. Because what happens? You invite 30, you're probably going to have 10. And through that, again, confirmation, sometimes you may end up with 8. Sometimes you're going to have a great turnout. So no matter what, a successful event, a good event that happens is going to be a successful event because you're going to get the product in front of someone. You're going to possibly get business partners. You never know what seeds are sown that you're going to sow. And so even if one person shows up, it's okay. Don't get discouraged. I've been there. We've all been there where we plan an event and it doesn't go the way what we think. And it's all a stepping stone because it's just going to go up from there. Would y'all agree? So, confirming the day before, like we talked about, and then your top 10. So if you're going to promote the top 10 products, you're going to want to purchase those in advance and get familiar with them. Just read on your sheets. In the package is your top 10 suggested products, and it's going to tell you the bullet points about them. Try them on yourself. So you can feel the texture of them and you can know the quality of them. Do the little simple steps on yourself prior to the event. That's a great way. I think it's really important to try something on before you sell it. So again, this is a really simple way, the 10 products that's very cost effective and affordable that you can buy. So you don't have to worry about getting all this inventory, especially if finances are a challenge. It's very simple to achieve. Okay, so when you're doing the event, when you start, say you are going to start at 6:30, plan on actually starting the event 30 minutes after. So your first 30 minutes are your mix and mingle time. Have light snacks. You don't have to worry about having a big meal. In fact, I was actually just speaking to our partner in Vancouver, and she said there, in their culture, when you invite someone over, you plan this huge meal. And so she said, we're having a hard time because we're doing these events and it's so time consuming because, we plan this huge meal and so the focus goes on the meal and by the time people are ready for the makeovers or the wellness, it's hard. And I was like, no, you don't have to do that. But if you start that culture early, just know some fruits, some cheese trays, something very light and easy. So your focus stays on your event and not on the preparation. So don't feel like you have to go overboard because remember, the people who are at your event, they're watching everything that's happening from the presentation to what you're doing. And if you have something too overwhelming, they may feel like, oh my gosh, this is too much. I never would have time to do this. I can hardly cook a meal for my own family. So again, remember those things when you're doing this. It's all about duplication and keeping it as simple as possible that the next you're raising up more people to do the same thing you're doing. So start promptly, even if all guests aren't there. That's really, really important because you do want to respect everyone's time and let them know, hey, we're going to get started. I want to respect everyone's time here. I know there's a few other people coming, but I appreciate you guys for coming early. So we're going to go ahead and argue and go ahead and get started. So that's another really key thing. So start when you say you're going to start. And if you have, usually on your sheet here, it's going to tell you it's about a 2-hour event. So it's a 30 minutes before. Your event should last an hour to an hour and a half, and then close out. 30 minutes to close out. So prepare and plan for that. If anyone wants to stay after that, that's great. But you don't want to extend it out beyond the time. And if you start late, you're going to end up finishing late. And again, you really want to respect people because people may end up saying, hey, I gotta go. And then you never got to close them out or you never got to, solidify that relationship with them. So that's really, really important. And so when you do these events, one of the most important things is teamwork, right? We all work together. And so if you're going to host an event and you're seasoned, you've been in the business, bring 2 of your business partners that are new to come and be a part of it with you and give them a role to play. That's very important. I know, Brittany, are you here? Is Brittany here? Oh, she went to the restroom. Okay. I'll mention her in just a minute. I'll wait till she comes in here. But so as you do that, you're going to raise people up. If you're brand new and you want to host an event, call your senior partner. And they're going to be more than willing to help you because that's what we want to see. We want to invest our time to duplicate what we've learned and done into you. So don't be afraid to reach out. in that because it's teamwork, you're each going to have a role to assign. And so prior to the event, if you have 3 or 4 partners together, delegate some roles. So that way everybody has a role to play. Maybe someone's going to be the meet and greet at the front door, and they're going to hand out the folders to each one. And they're going to say, hey, they're going to bring the guest into the kitchen where the snacks are, introduce to the next business partner, hand them the folder and say, hey, go ahead and get you a snack and a drink and go ahead and fill out this. We're going to give you a ticket. Tickets are really key. How many of you have used tickets at your event? Tickets are a lot of fun, and we'll kind of share about that more. But Brittany, I was about to pick on you when you were in the restroom, so I said I'll wait. So we were talking about bringing up a new, when you do events, bringing in business partners where you work together as a team. And I know with you, we started doing events together, right? And we were doing the Shine events. And so at first, Brittany was in the C role, and I would say she was uncomfortable at first. She was like, I don't want to be part of the room. I'm like, okay, no, you actually can play the C role, help serve, continue it, but watch what we're doing because you're going to fulfill that role. So she was such an incredible servant, always there, helping set up, do the event, but she's very, very coachable. And so she would watch. Well, then we had an event, and I didn't tell her in advance. Nora and I did an event, and I said, okay, Brittany. She gets there, and I'm like, you're going to be the Ariel tonight. She was like, what? But it was so amazing. Nora and I were both watching her. We're like, oh my gosh, she's doing so good. And she truly, because she's a student, she watched every single time, and now it built her confidence because she played in the product, she helped answer questions, she helped do applications, she was part of the system several times, where at the very beginning, maybe it would be scary for her to just have an event by herself, but because we took her by the hand and we said, hey, you can do this, we believe in you, now she can host her own event and do the same thing with her team. So super proud of you. You're amazing. Just got a new partner too last week, so. Yes. Stacey had asked to explain about the A role versus the C role. So basically, and you can duplicate the same thing on this. So an A role would be, let's say I'm having an event, and I've been in the business, and I want to bring up 2 of my partners that are maybe newer that I want to duplicate this process in. So your B role would be someone, maybe they've been in the business a short season, and they've helped out, they've served, they've been around a little bit. And then your C role would be someone brand new, or maybe someone that hasn't attended an event or done an event. And so C's role would be more so of like the meet and greet, handing out the folders, being the ticket girl, handing out tickets, maybe bringing the beauty cocktails. And so they're going to have, you can break this down on responsibilities to that even. And so as you do that, each role, because it's each one, reach one, teach one. And so when I would do the A role, I'm letting B know, I want you to pay attention to everything I do, everything I'm saying, because next time you're going to be A, and C will move up to B. So I'll tell C, I want you to pay attention to everything B is doing. And so in that, C is eventually going to turn into A. A is going to step aside, and my goal is to watch. Now I've raised up this team of A, B, and C, and I'm watching as a spectator, I'm coaching, and I'm there as a backup, and I'm there to help close. But my whole goal is to get a team established now that they can go and duplicate. And the A is going to go and do the same thing with their team. And so it's very, very effective, and it's incredible because even if somebody, say they're not ready to play B role yet, it's okay. Have them play C for a few times until it really builds their confidence, because someone who's brand new, I know for me back then, that would have been what I wanted to do. I literally could not talk to people. So, big shocker, but being in front of the room was like, absolutely not. So for me, I probably would have wanted to play the C role several times before I was a B. So it's okay, love people where they're at, but make sure you stretch people. It's very, very, very important to stretch people, because you won't know how far you can go until you help pull their strengths out of them. And today we talked about strengths and weaknesses. And so I think that's very, very important as you're building your team and as you're taking every event, whether it's a wellness or a beauty or shop.com, whatever it is in your team, identify someone's strengths and fill them into that area that they can use their strength in. Because when you have a purpose, and when you're doing something that you can bring to the table, you really feel like you played a good part, and you leave home achieved, and you're like, hey, that was really cool, that was fun, I just operated in a gift that I don't get to use or something like that. And so I think that's really key is in your team, knowing the strengths, knowing weaknesses, and knowing personalities. I know we've learned a lot of that over this past 12 weeks. Personalities is an incredible asset too, because as you know, personalities would either maybe someone who is very analytical or loves the paperwork, have them put together the folders. Give them that role and say, hey, you know what? I would love for you to put this together for me. Let me show you how to do it. They're going to love that. You know, so remember that, excuse me, your goal is to help each person fill a niche and feel important and fulfill a role. And as they do that, they're just going to continue to excel, and you're going to pour into them, and it's amazing watching people blossom and turn into whatever it is that they're called to be through those simple things of just pouring into somebody. Excuse me, I got something in my throat. Okay, so next we're going to go into talking about when you get started. It says here to welcome everyone. So basically the B role would be the one maybe, or the hostess or the host would get up and we would welcome everyone. And you would do a 2-minute commercial. I think this is very, very important. How many of you have a 2-minute commercial? A few of you. Okay, so this is really important to do because your 2-minute commercial you're going to use all the time. You can change it to what it is that you're doing, and this is kind of what it would be off the fly. Say I'm at a motives event. Hi, I'm Quimby. I'm so excited to be here with you this evening. You ladies look fabulous, and I'm excited to come and share with you one of the hottest cosmetic lines in the beauty industry. I've actually been with the company almost 4 years now, and I absolutely love Motives Cosmetics. We have incredible products that are geared for the average everyday woman to the beauty professional. And we have the products that we have are what people are looking for. We have products that are customizable. How many of you ladies have gone into a department store and bought a product, maybe a foundation, you leave there and it doesn't match? Most of them are going to say, yes, I have been there too. But what I love is that we can actually custom create products for our clients that are natural, mineral-based. Our pigmentation exceeds most everything on the market, and I love that I get to work with women like you, that I get to inspire you, that make you feel beautiful, and it's just so much fun. My background was an interior designer, and I retired my business. I retired from that industry about a year ago, and I get to pursue a career with Motives Cosmetics, changing the world, impacting lives, and inspiring women. And so I'm excited to be here with you this evening, and I hope you have a lot of fun. So your 2-minute commercial, share a little bit about who you are. Be excited, but be relatable too. Share part of your story with it, and I usually always, during, when I get to passing out the beauty cocktail, because we teach beauty from the inside out, and I love that because with Motives, remember you're building depth of customer. It's just not just about the cosmetics, it's truly about changing people from the inside out. And when I get to passing out the beauty cocktail, I always share my story and I share my testimony of the product. And I tell people, with the cocktail, I say, what you're going to taste, you're going to have one of our fabulous beauty cocktails. It's actually a combination of our OPC beauty blend and kiwi strawberry aloe combined. And I share them, it tastes really good, but actually what we do is we teach beauty from the inside out. So we can actually help our clients not only achieve beauty on the outside, but we can help their health needs. Because a lot of times what's going on in your skin on the external all starts from within. So if you have dry skin, or maybe you have rosacea or acne or anything that you're struggling with, we can actually help target that through our products. And so what you're sampling tonight, our beauty cocktail, and I always tell everyone, pay attention how well you sleep tonight. And I tell them it's not a sedative, but you're actually just going to feel good, you're going to sleep good, and I always tell them, shoot me a text tomorrow and let me know how well you feel. And I sow that seed into them because now they're going to pay attention. They're going to wake up the next day. I've had so many people text me or message me, like, oh my gosh, what did you give me? I need more of that. That was incredible. I slept better than I ever have. And so even that one serving can make a huge difference. And a lot of times you'll end up moving some of your health and nutrition products at your Motives events, which is really key because you know with the health and nutrition you're going to be able to impact lives and reach a lot of people. So that's really, really important. So it talks about having samples of different products. You can have the TLS shake there. I know we've done many events where people make the TLS shake with the chocolate, you can add a banana in it, add some of that PB2 powder where it tastes really good. Make something yummy for them and just say, oh, you know, that's one of our health and nutrition weight loss products. It says mocha tonics on here. I wouldn't do that at nighttime because otherwise you'll have your all night. But if you have a daytime beauty event, sample the mocha tonics. So again, you're introducing new products. You incorporate the skincare as well. So you're teaching about 3 or 4 different categories all at one time. And so it goes on to talk about hitting play on the video. You can play the Motives product demo, which is a 2-minute video. And then it goes into the presenter. When she gets up, she's going to do her 2-minute commercial as well. And basically it says sharing things about the company. So on this section, you can keep it brief. You can share a little bit about who we are. You know, our company, Motives Cosmetics, we're actually a product brokerage and internet marketing company. It's actually one of the divisions. We work in many different billion-dollar industries. We have health and nutrition. You're going to try some of our products tonight. So share a little bit about it. Share how we're a 24-year-old company. Not only do we get to have an online site where you can purchase all the products, you get cash back for buying your cosmetics. How many of you ladies get paid cash back when you go into the department store and buy your makeup? We're all going to say no. So you're going to be able to tie in a little bit about the company. You don't want to give them too much information, enough to intrigue them, because oftentimes what you'll find if you try to give too much, and we have this, and we have this, and we have this, and we have this, they're like, wait a minute, I'm so lost. So just give a little bit, you know, keep your intro of the company simple, sweet, the most key important aspects of it, and you can also kind of feel the crowd out too. At the end, you can let someone know, hey, I'll be here to answer any questions. Do you have any questions about our company? Because that's really when you want to target more details about it. Again, you're just sowing quick seeds so you can capture their interest and give them an idea of the concept of what we have to offer. So then it's going to go, I'm going to kind of go into the products you're going to demo and the best way to do this. And so you're going to identify the one person, maybe it's the A-roll, who is going to, you can do a couple options. You can have your Motives chair there and the top 10 products having sit, and you can ask volunteers that are in the crowd, okay, who wants to be my eyebrow model? Pull up an eyebrow model. If you don't have someone volunteer, pick someone that you see that really could use the eyebrows. And so you're going to do this with the top 10 products. So maybe I'm playing A, and I'm going to do one of their eyes. In the meantime, you're going to have maybe the B or C roll go around, and you're going to demo the products on everyone's hands. So everyone is going to be able to touch and feel the quality of it, but they're also getting to watch a presentation happen. So it's great to go ahead and do their hands while this person's getting their look done, because it's filling the time in as well. And so once they try it, by that time the model's done. And what I usually do is for instance, if you're going to do an eyebrow, do one eyebrow. And I tell the customer, okay, I want you to go ahead and hold your hand over the eyebrow I just did, and I want you to look in the mirror. So she sees her regular eyebrow. Then I ask her to take it off, and she's like, everyone's reaction to that is just about that. Like, oh my gosh, this looks really good. And so those little things like that, and you tell them, okay, go show everybody what your eyebrow looks like. And people are like, wow, that's really awesome. That just sold the product because they're seeing just a quick one versus the other, what it looks like, how easy it was, the pigment is really nice. And what if they're scared to do an eyebrow? That's really great. You can show them the tutorial, real simple, and walk them through it. If they're scared afterwards, and maybe they're in the crowd and they're like, oh my gosh, I can never do that. Pull them up afterwards and say, okay, I want to actually, after we're done with this, I want to teach you how to do it. It's so simple. I'm actually going to walk you through it and have you do one. Oh, what if the presenter is scared to do it? Well, if the presenter is scared to do it, you have a couple options. Maybe bring in a different one of the other roles to do it if they've never done an eyebrow, or go practice. You know, if you know you're going to be doing the looks that day, go practice on your do it a couple times, but it's very simple.
Also, you can ask somebody that you look at their eyebrows and then you say, hey, would you be willing to come be our eyebrow remover?
That's a good point too. She said ask somebody in the audience. So if I know if I have someone in the beauty profession there and they're a makeup artist, the best way for a makeup artist to see the quality of the products is to do it themselves. So I've done that many times, say, okay, I want you to actually come do the eyes. Or will you come? I know you're an expertise in the products. I want you to try the products. So will you do this? So that's really important. So as you kind of get to know the audience and get to know who you're working with, you don't have to follow this verbatim. Flow with it. Do things like that. Engage with people as much as you can, because the more you engage, the better it is. They're going to capture an audience and they're going to feel more comfortable. So as you do some of these on the hands, a couple things that I do with everybody at every event, whether I'm doing an It's Your Time to Shine, a Beauty Basics, a trunk show, or even just carrying these products with me and demoing, it talks about doing the eye base. I do the eye base on the hand, and then I take one of our Elements palettes, because it's our #1 selling palette, and I say, hey, this is our #1 selling cosmetic palette. Let me show you the quality, the pigmentation. Our pigmentation is 11 to 12, where most of your top-end lines are 9%. So if you know those key little things to say, those are really important, because those facts are what people love to hear about. And so if you didn't hear me, I said the pigmentation of the eyeshadow is about 11 to 12, where MAC is actually known for their pigmentation and they're 9. So that quick little thing, that's going to catch their attention. I usually take a couple of the eyeshadow colors on top of the eye base, and I go around, put it on everyone's hand, and then I actually do eyeshadow on their hand without the eye base. And so now they're seeing the quality of the eyeshadow, but they're also seeing the need for the eye base. So you're showing them throughout the process. When you get to the Invisalign primer on this section, what I usually do is I put the Invisalign on the back of the hand, and I share with everyone, this is like spackling for the wall, like spackling for your face. And I usually ask, how many of you have a wall, and you have a little nail hole in the wall, and you paint that wall, what's going to happen? The nail hole is still going to show through, right? So you have to get spackling to cover up the hole, and then you paint over it. So that's what this does for your face. It actually fills in any fine lines, any large pores, any targeted areas that you want to hide. So we put this on the back of the hand, and then we apply the primer next. And I will tell people, okay, this actually takes your skin from the texture of an orange to the texture of the apple. This is really important on preparing your face for your foundation, so it goes on silky smooth, and it lasts, and it makes your product last longer. So they rub that in. And then what I like to do is take a foundation and put it on the hand over it. And I also take the same foundation and put it on the opposite hand. And I have them rub it in. When they rub the foundation on the hand that wasn't prepared, it does not go on smooth. It shows all the fine lines. And they feel this one, they're like, oh wow, this feels really silky smooth. And I tell them, look at the difference. Because you can see there's a lot of fine lines in your hand. Huge difference. That will sell those two products along with your foundation all day long. So key things like that on the hand demo part. And one good thing to do is if you have a custom blend foundation, make two. Make a really dark one and make a really light one. And so the best way to show that is to apply a really dark foundation on everyone who's light complected, and everyone who's dark complected do the light, vice versa. And the reason why it's going to show more using the opposite, how good the coverage of your fine lines and all of that is. So that's just a quick little tip. Another really cool thing to do is tips that we've learned along the way. When you're going to the blush section, I usually bring my large palette of the blushes and I ask them, because you want to give them tools that they're going to learn. You're going to teach them a couple application tools, product knowledge, and tips. So I tell them, hey, do you know how to find the best way to match your blush? I was trying to think of what it's called. Blush. Does anyone know the answer to that? Michelle?
Look at the tips of your fingers.
The tips of your fingers. So you take the compact with all the blushes, and you take the tips of the finger and you look at the color combinations. On your big palette, it actually has brown tones, coral tones, pink tones, and then a more peachy tone. And if you look and you put the fingers next to it, you'll be astonished to see that it matches one of them, and then you use that blush, and they are like, oh my goodness, I never would have thought that, I had no idea. So you just gave a really great tip that they're gonna, now every time they purchase a blush, and they're probably gonna buy that blush from you because they found a blush, they're like, wow, this looks really good on me. So, another great little tip to do. In the process, we talked about tickets, right? So during the whole event, you're going to want to give out tickets. And I forgot to mention this at the beginning. So when I do the intro, I let them know, hey, we have tickets tonight. You're probably wondering what those are for. It's all about having fun. Do you ladies like having fun? I love having fun too. I want you to be engaging. Feel free to ask any questions. If you have any comment on a product, I love your feedback. So don't be afraid to ask questions. In fact, every time you do, make a question or have a comment or feedback, we're going to give out tickets. And we're going to give out some free prizes at the end of the night. You ladies like free prizes, right? Yeah. Ladies will engage just for those tickets. And it's so fun because it really breaks the ice, because sometimes you may have a diverse group of women there that maybe don't know each other very well. And it really gives comfort when you have, because it makes people laugh, it makes people step out of their box and talk and engage. And so that's really, really important, bringing the tickets in and having prizes to give out at the end. When you come to the closing of it, another really important thing to do is you want to put your closing station in another area. And you're going to let them know throughout the event. Remind them. In your little packet that you gave out to everybody, and I just realized I'm on the same slide. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. So let me flip through here. Their survey. They're going to fill out their survey, they're going to pass it in, they're going to get a ticket for it. They're going to have in their folder the suggested products. So as you're going through and doing the demos, you're going to let them know. In your folder, as you're doing this, like I said, for instance, they just fell in love with the Invisalign. You can let them know. Make sure you mark the Invisalign on your suggested products and write it as your wish list, because at the end of the night, we'll be checking out, and this is something that you can take home tonight. You know, you're kind of feeding that throughout the event so they're prepared and they're remembering, oh yeah, I need to write this down because I really like that product. So this is a great notes for them to follow along as you're doing the demos. It has 2 pages. It has your OPC and your aloe. So again, those are products that you're introducing into the event. The top 10 products. So they're going to have each one a face chart. The company actually just redid new face charts too that you can order on a 25-sheet pad in your back office. But on their face chart, they can even take the products, color on the face chart, circle what they want, but use these tools. Let them know along the way, because they'll forget as well, just like I just did. Hey, make sure you check off, if you like this, check it off on your face chart, because we're going to go through everyone who turns in their face chart filled out, I'm going to give you a ticket. So that's another thing. You can keep them engaged in it, and I let them know. If you want to color on your face chart, if you just really like that eyeshadow, here, I'll pass it out to you, color it on your face chart. Make sure you write the name of the one you liked. So that face chart, when they turn it into, you're actually going to give it back to them at the end as their wish list, but they're going to turn it into you. So when you're checking out and you're sitting down with them, if they checked off certain things that they liked on here, or maybe they colored something, that at the end, when we're talking about the close, you're going to use that, and then at the end you're going to give it back to them, because there may be items on there that are on their wish list that they're going to want to order later. So when you can get to the conclusion, there's a couple pieces in here that you're going to give out at the very end, and it's the which kit is right for you. So I typically don't put this in the folder initially. I will keep this separate, this as well as the order form. And at the end is when we'll give this to them. Which you can talk about is before we close, which kit is right for you, so you can share. Tonight we actually have some special pre-packaged specials for you that are discounted, or we have a la carte. And so when you sit down with Brandy in the checkout station, she's going to help you with that and help you choose which products you want to take home. But I want to go over a couple kits with you that we're having as a special tonight. One of them is the Complete the Look kit, which has the brow. I know you, Holly, used the brow tonight and you really loved it, right? It has the brow kit, it has the mascara, so share about what's on here. Again, you're engaging on products that they used. Then we have the Beauty from the Inside Out package. This is what I share with you about the health and nutrition. It really changed my life. So this is an incredible package. It actually is going to, I always tell people, it's like fountain of youth for your skin. It has biotin in it. It has, trying to think of the word, hyaluronic acid. Yes, hyaluronic acid. And it also has pycnogenol as well. So this is a great, share with them a little bit about the health and nutrition package. Then we also have the makeup must-haves. That 10 years younger spray that most of you didn't even have never used, a setting spray, that is in this package. This is one of our must-haves because it's going to actually give your look, make it last all day long. Or we have what's called our Fast Start package. And on here is basically a $600 value. Maybe you're here this evening and you thought to yourself, hey, this is a lot of fun. I love makeup. Hey, I could do this. This may be the perfect package for you. So if you're interested in what you heard tonight, if you had a lot of fun, you want to make some extra money, then get with me or make sure you let Brandy know that you're interested in this and at the end, and we'll also get you more information about it. Would love to connect with you. Like I said, if this is something for them, let them know that that's an option because you never know who's sitting in the audience that may be thinking, I'm going to do this. But just need you to say that for them to say, okay, this makes sense. Or you may have someone like Jody who just says, here's my credit card, I'm doing this. Like she shared about last week. So that is really important. And you're going to let them know. Again, Brandy's at the checkout station with you. Each one of you are going to have a quick consultation. While you're at the checkout station with Brandy, you're actually going to collect your free gift. So this is really, really important, the free gift for everybody. And the simplest, best way is to give a 3-day package of the Daily Essential and maybe do the Kiwi Strawberry package of the aloe with it. Or if you want to do a Mocha Tonics package, whatever you want to do, but that's really important because remember, we teach beauty from the inside out. And we all know the 3-day package of the isotonics is going to make an impact on someone's life. And so if you can send that home with them as a free gift and they try it and it changes their world, you just, what a huge asset. Or it could actually, like I said, bring you customers or business partners. So make sure you give that to them after checkout. So they are going to go visit the checkout station regardless if they have the intent of purchasing anything or not to collect their free gift. At that point, when Brandy's at the checkout station, she taught on this a few weeks ago that the first thing you do is when you're sitting down across the table from someone, and let's just say I'm checking them out, and I ask, Brandy, did you have fun tonight? And remember, she shakes her head and she asks, Brandy, did you have fun tonight? What was the most favorite product that you used this evening?
Girl, I love the
eyebrow kit. Awesome. Well, tell me, what products did you want to take home tonight?
Definitely the eyebrow kit.
So when she wants what? $3.99. Your partner. When you ask your customer that, what did you want to take home tonight? Remember, did you have fun? What was the favorite product you tried tonight? And you don't want to ask a question like open-ended, where they're going to give you more of a negative response. You want to keep it on the positive, so if you ask what their favorite product is, they're going to share that with you, and so then you know how to move forward from that. Then you ask, great, what did you want to take home tonight? Remember, she talked about the first person who speaks loses. Right. So you don't want to sell yourself short, and you don't want to, you just ask them the question, and you'll fill them out. They may say just like she did, oh, the eyebrow kit. Or maybe she's going to say, you know what, I love the eyebrow kit, but I really don't have the money right now. Well, no worries, Brandy. You know what? We have a program where we can really help you. I know you said you had fun tonight. You love the product, right? Do you have a couple girlfriends you think that would be interested in the product? So what we could do is invite them over to your home. I can come with some ladies with my products. We can bring the beauty cocktails, and I'll actually bring free gifts for each one of your friends, and we'll do makeovers on them. And any products that sell, you'll actually get a portion of it, so you'll get to take home that eyebrow kit for free.
Awesome.
Does that sound good? So you're going to remember, because sometimes finances are a challenge, and so let them know you have ways to help them. And even at that point, say she just bought the eyebrow kit and some other products. I'm going to still do the same thing. I'm going to say, I know you had a lot of fun. Thank you so much for getting the eyebrow kit. Brandy, do you have some friends who would love to share this product with? Because I know you had checked on this that you also wanted some of that custom blend foundation. If I told you a way you could have it for free, would you be interested?
Yes.
Okay. So again, you're always going to try to book a follow-up, either a consultation, maybe with a custom blend, but have her invite a few of her friends over. Because you're going to expand your customer base like that, and you're going to get into the people's people, and maybe she has on her radar like, hey, this could maybe, but she's not telling you that, but she hosts an event, and at the end of the event, she had 5 of her friends there who bought products. At that point, you can, afterwards, you can say, hey, look at this, you were very successful, your friends had a lot of fun, did you have a lot of fun? I would love to share with you how we have an incredible opportunity where actually you could keep this money and put it back in your pocket. And we could do this together as a team. And so, again, on this, your goal is to introduce our product line. I would say that is the biggest thing. When you have a product line that you believe in, that you know that is sought after by beauty professionals, by everybody, it really helps solidify the belief. And so your goal is to expose the product, to get the product on as many people as you possibly can. Through that, you're going to connect with women. You're going to maybe inspire somebody. Maybe you're going to meet someone who maybe they were there because they were invited or they didn't even want to show up. But through that, they felt a part of something. They felt beautiful. We've done so many events where women are like, oh my gosh, I never wear makeup. I feel so beautiful. And they'll tell you that. And it's so amazing when you can make an impact on someone's life and you can use beauty as a tool to do that. It really gives you incentive. So I tell you that because if you have not had a radar for motives, or you've been maybe scared to approach that division, or you're not interested in cosmetics, or whatever limitation, don't let that hold you back and leave money on the table, because I can tell you Motives Cosmetics is so hot right now around the world. And it will truly build your business and transform your business. It has been such a huge factor in our growth, our success, and we're having a lot of fun. You know, when you can team up with women and you can encourage each other, lift each other up, and inspire each other. And I just want to give you a shout out. I want you to come up here, Spring. Proud of you. And you know, I came in this evening and I was asking her how her appointment went. Do you remember, ladies, whenever Spring was up here? It was probably about 5 weeks ago or so, and she was at a salon, and her husband, who is an incredible supporter for her, was like, hey, you need to talk to that salon owner. And he kept encouraging her, and she was like, oh. And so she did. She asked the salon owner, and you want to share what you asked?
So I went in, I was trying to do our nose, and I was like, okay, come on, just tell me no so I can go on. And I was like, please just say no, because I'm really not ready for a yes. Just give me this no. And she was like, yeah, sure, come on and stay. Well, I tried to set it up, and she canceled. And I was like, oh gosh, what do I do? What do I do? So we rescheduled. Thank you, Quimby, for coming by, because I was a nervous wreck, and I just kind of stood there and I just let Quimby talk, and I just watched, and I was like, she's so amazing. I was like, am I ever going to be that good, you know? So then I was like, okay, she's like, follow back up with me. I was like, all right, so let's try it again. She canceled again, and I was like, I called Quimby and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I said, I'm to that point where I just want to quit. And she's like, don't give up. Because we had that conversation, you know, and I was just like, I really need this. I need this. I need to be able to spend time with my husband. And she was there with me. And she just said, the good Lord is going to do this for you. You just got to have faith. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. And I called her up and I was like, I don't know how much more I can hold him. And I said, I'm afraid I'm going to lose him. And we got with someone and they went up there and actually spoke with the young lady. She called me back with Norma and she said, don't give up. Go back in 2 more weeks. And I said, okay. She said, for whatever reason, just find a reason. So I I said, okay, so I took my husband up there and I was like, okay, we're gonna get a haircut. And he's like, not me, you are. So I don't know if anybody's been paying attention to my Facebook. I blew Facebook up. I was like, oh my gosh, look at this. What Gabby Swan did to my hair, la la la. And when I went to leave, you know, I took her a free gift. I went to leave and she says, I want to schedule for you to come in. I want to get 2 custom blends. I was like, okay, not a problem. So I set it up. I was like, all right. She canceled. I was like, oh my gosh, okay. Set it up again. She canceled. And I'm like, okay, one more time. So I finally said, okay, I'm going to set up for this date. I get there, she's not there. Okay, take a deep breath. I said, Lord, if this is meant to be, it's going to happen. Called her up again. She said, I'm going to be here. I get there. I sit for 2.5 hours while she waits on people cutting their hair. And I'm like, you know what? This is what she does for a living. I'm going to wait. And I took that time and I waited. And I sat there and I thought about everything. And I was like, you know what? This is going to work. So I sat down with her. I did her color swatch. I handed her the catalog, our Motives catalog. I said, while I'm doing this, just look at it. Okay? She gets that. I'm telling you, everything that could go wrong that night went wrong. Phone died, no Wi-Fi, everything. By the end of the night, I sold $195 for the Motives. Thank you for supporting me. And thank you for having my back, because I know I was texting Wendy, freaking out. I'm forgetting things, da-da-da. She's like, you got this. And I remember just taking a deep breath, turning away from Gabby, saying, Lord, just guide me through this. If it's meant to be, it'll happen. And it did.
Yeah.
And she pushed me into my zone that I was not comfortable with.
Good.
And thank you for that, because I found that I have the strength that I didn't know I had.
Wow.
I just gotta say, I am so proud of you, and you know, this is why we do what we do. You know, we can lift someone up, encourage them, and make an impact, and this is just the beginning of where you're gonna go. You are gonna excel, you're gonna be super successful, and your confidence, we're excited. We're all excited to watch you transform and blossom and just be who God created you to be. But using this as a tool to get you where you want to go, to make an impact on your life, your family's life, your husband's life. And, you know, I applaud you for being diligent and for being consistent, because that consistency paid off. And it really, not only financially, but it paid off in you. And that's the biggest deposit, because it gave you the strength to say, okay, you know what? If that ever happens again, I'm going to keep pushing forward. I'm not going to give up, because you never want to sell yourself short of your destiny. So I'm so excited for you, and I really appreciate
Something I didn't say. While all this was going on, my husband was actually in the hospital. He had an ICD implant put in, which I know you know what I'm talking about. That's why I cried when you were up here talking, because it really touched. It had gotten infected, and he ended up going into the hospital. And I called my husband, and I'm like, honey, I'm so sorry, because I've been bouncing back and forth from the hospital home. And I said, I know I told you I'd be there as soon as this was done. I said, but I can't give up. He says, baby, you got this. And I was like, oh my gosh, when I walked into that hospital room with the biggest smile on my face, and he was just like, you did it. And I was like, yes. He was worried about me and making sure that I finally reached for my stars, and that I reached it, and I finally made it. So.
And she was actually just sharing me earlier too, that her husband even has another person. They were actually in the conversation, and this lady is a manager for MAC Cosmetics, and she didn't even catch it in the conversation. So as they walked away, her husband's like, "Did you hear that? She's with MAC Cosmetics." She's like, "No, I didn't hear that. Oh my gosh." So she said she's working on following up with her and connecting. So we were just talking about how fun it is when you have a spouse or someone that's valuing and supporting you. And I just want to leave you to say, to encourage you that these are all tools. This business, everything that we have is a simple system that you could follow for success. But the biggest thing that we have in this company is belief. And when you don't believe in yourself, but you're surrounded by people who believe in you, who lift you up, who encourage you, who say, "Don't give up," because your breakthrough is right around the corner. And a lot of times, your breakthrough comes through brokenness. And when you hit a place of brokenness, that's when you can rise up and continue to step into what it is. And so I encourage you all, have a Beauty Basics event, have fun, make a difference in someone's life, book a consultation, and you'll find that you're going to inspire others, you're going to lift them up, and you're going to be blessed in the process. So thank you.
Yeah, I do have a question for you, just because I've never done one, and I just wondered if people were watching, if they might have this question. You talked about that, you were doing an eyebrow, or somebody was going to do an eyebrow. Do you actually do a full makeover on one person while everybody watches, or how do you do that at a Beauty Basic?
Great question. So you can kind of judge depending on how many people are there. A lot of times if there's a larger crowd, I would just do one eyebrow during that, and then I let them know, "Hey, I'm not going to let you leave home with one eyebrow. So after we're done, come back to me, I'm going to finish it." So if there's a large group, you just want to minimize it because you want to constantly move, so you're keeping people engaged.
Okay.
So if you have a smaller group, then yes, maybe do one eyebrow and let them do the other one.
Okay, and then one more question. So you said that most of the stuff you're doing is on the back of somebody's hand, is that right? Okay, so the back of the hand, that's pretty much how you're doing all of it, except for just doing an eyebrow or both eyebrows on one model. Is that correct?
Right, or different products. So for instance, when you get to the Miami Glow Bronzer, you're going to get a different volunteer for each one of the products. You're going to, as you talk about it and put it on, or as one of the people are presenting talking about it, you have the other person putting it on. So you're engaging it, and then you go around dusting your hands. So you're applying a portion of it on your model, but try to use a different model to try on each different one.
Perfect. Is there any other question? Is there anybody else that had a question? Yes.
I'm just kind of thinking of the same thing that you were saying, Stacey, but like, let's say people come from work and they all show up and they're all fully faced makeup. If you're getting volunteers to do that, but everybody already has blush on or already has their eyebrows down, are you making anybody like remove it to apply, or are you applying over what they already have?
You can apply over what they already have. Maybe try to find someone, if you're doing a lip demo, find someone who doesn't have a lipstick on, or do things like that. Now, with the event, again, if you have a smaller group and maybe you want to use the wipe and take it off and do a whole look, you have that ability. So you can kind of judge it and play with it. You don't have to follow it exactly just like that.
So basically, you get one person to maybe that doesn't wear a lot of makeup, maybe to just remove what they have, and then everybody else is on the back of the hand, you just do everything on that front.
Yes, we've done that plenty of times where we've had a model actually come as the model and remove and use them specifically for the whole look. What I find is more effective is bringing in different people. And just because they're getting to try something they've never tried, and when they're sitting up there and you're doing something and everyone's going on, it makes them feel important and special. So really, there's an emotional connection that they get with that product. And not only them, the other people get it because they're like, "Oh my gosh," they saw her reaction. And so that emotional connection, I think, is really important. So you can do the one model, that's an option as well, but I find it best engaging as many people.
And a lot of times, too, also to confirm, you can also say, "Hey, you know what? Quimby told me that you're coming and that you're so fun. I wanted to find out, I'm looking for an eyebrow model. Would that be okay for you to maybe show up to be my eyebrow model for the event?" And they're like, "Okay." So it's another great way to get them to confirm. Or would you mind demoing a product in front of everybody? Because Quimby told me that you're a lot of fun. Maybe I'll have you do a lipstick. So you're letting them know they're going to be a part of it. Again, you're going to really move that crowd for more emotional attachment as you're including them.
That's so good. Katie, did you have a question?
Just a quick one. So the Beauty Basics is where you're only putting product on
a trunk show or a big VIP, we'll have a social, so you'll have different stations in the house and they'll just kind of come in and, Yep.
Everybody did? Okay.
Yeah, so and all of them are fun to do. So yeah, just whatever event you want to try them all, because then you know which ones you like best. So it's fun.
This is such a great system. I just, as they were going through this, I know that the shop and save that Emily did was absolutely incredible, and then I know last week was incredible with you, Brandon, doing the Wellness 101, and then the Beauty Basics today, just learning these events and just trying them yourself, and obviously you have the handouts. Quimby said it is on Jackie's site, but it's also on Leadership Academy site as well. So everything that she went through tonight, you can get off of the Leadership Academy site as well, and just practice it. There's nothing coming out of this. People feeling good about themselves, having fun, creating an environment where people are having a lot of fun with each other and feeling better about themselves. Oh my gosh, what a great night! We can't get